Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's more Death Battle. I haven't recorded anything since late November, early December when I did Star vs Season 2. Well, what's out of it so far. But I'm feeling rested, I'm feeling ready. I was able to take a month sabbatical while I uploaded those gradually. And yeah, I'm ready to tackle more things while also trying to stall Ruby Volume 4 until it's over, so I don't have to get put through waiting hell. Yeah, I'm being a dick about that. You're not getting me. I'm gonna watch it all at once. But as it stands, I've been wanting to catch up with Death Battle for a while. I think the last one I reacted to was Pokemon vs Digimon, the previous finale. I've seen a couple since then, so I've decided I'm not going to do every single Death Battle as I'm catching up, because I don't want to... Let me put it this way, I want to prioritise the Death Battles that involve characters I am either already familiar with or I take a great interest in. Because I never played any, side-scroller beat-em-ups or, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter kind of games like that. I give absolutely no shits about Ken vs Terry. I'm sure I could learn some interesting things about those characters, but that's for watching on my own time, not getting invested in enough to react to it. I mean, I recorded my reaction to Dante vs Bayonetta, and I am still pissed off to this day that that file got corrupted. It was just lost. I can't even explain it. This webcam program that has given me, this will be 200, this is reaction number 200, I couldn't think of a special, so this is reaction 200, all fine, but this one awesome Death Battle that I agreed with the result. I saw the good sides of Bayonetta that I've never played. I thought this woman is badass, I will not lie, and I enjoyed the fight so much. I thought my reaction was excellent, and it corrupted. Everything that touched it not responding, no file data on it or anything. I was so annoyed. I lost it, and so that was supposed to be the start of a Death Battle catch-up back then, but that really ticked me off, so I switched to Star Versus. But now I'm back, ready to give it a second crack, and the battles I've got listed for me that involve characters I know or am interested in. Today will be Bowser vs Ganon, as per the title, because even though I haven't played many Mario games, I am obviously familiar with the lore. I've seen a bunch of parody videos on the internet, I've seen, the Game Grumps play some of the games. I know Bowser pretty well. The only things I've seen of Ganon from the Zelda games, another series I haven't played, if you want to know what I have played, ask me, because it may sound like I've not played anything at all. I have. It's just other categories exist, besides, the main Zelda, Mario. I'm not one of them. Yeah, the only places I've seen Ganon are, I think, those old Zelda CDI YouTube poops. That terrible Zelda interactive game-like thing. Yeah, you bring light into my lair? You must die! That ridiculous thing. That's all I know of Ganon. I think I've seen his 3D-like face before, but I have no context for him whatsoever, and I'm sure he's the one I'll be learning the most about in this Death Battle. The ones coming up after this, I've made sure to do them in chronological order. Mewtwo vs Shadow, Tracer vs Scout, Amy Rose vs Ramona Flowers, Hulk vs Doomsday, Zoro vs Elsa, this isn't Frozen, Zoro vs Urza, and finally Deadpool vs Pinkie Pie, which is what's got me hyped to do this catch-up. So we're probably going to end on a damn good note. But before then, we shall get right into Bowser vs Ganon. Predictions? I'll save that until I've heard everything about the two characters. Off we go.
Ever since the invention of princesses, there have been
Invention.
kidnappers. And these two are certainly among the top tier in their trade. Bowser, the king of the Koopas.
And Ganon, the demon.
Yeah, that's the face I've seen before.
I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Once upon a time, a giant turtle had a dream. He would conquer the Mushroom Kingdom by turning everyone in it into brick.
That's a nice
One
image.
pesky princess had the gall to undo his mystical masonry.
Naturally, King Bowser Koopa had only one sensible option. He snatched her up and locked her
Of
away
course.
in his castle. No, not that castle. That castle.
Your princess
Little
is in
kid
another
had
castle.
already morphed thousands of innocents into brick.
With the princess out of the picture, Bowser finally had it all. Until two pesky, portly plumbers popped up out of nowhere and procured his petulant princess.
Yep.
Nice job on that alliteration.
I'm surprised you know what alliteration means.
Of
Me
course,
too.
my conspicuous co-host. Anyway, if there's one thing to say about Bowser, it's that he never gives up. He's always hatching a new scheme for domination with his army, and you know it's going to involve some princess pilfering.
Not only
And
is he
lots of
tenacious, but
Koopas.
He's also incredibly tough.
Probably due to his natural turtliness.
That's not a real word, but you are correct. Bowser's seemingly indestructible shell can take an insane amount of abuse, as can the rest of him, really.
Not only that,
So basically, he is above Blastoise.
probably because of the Impale-A-Man-sized spikes, which he can shoot out
Spikes
with
make
like a
anything
goddamn
cooler.
cannon.
Bowser also fights with his razor-sharp teeth and claws, and is capable of lifting and throwing massive
Yeah, he
amounts
does
of
look
weight.
built.
He can
Very strong.
probably even lift your mother, Wiz.
Hey!
Lord knows I couldn't. He's also got a bunch of weapons to throw around, like hammers, spike balls, and mecha Koopas, all from the safety of the happiest flying machine ever, the Koopa Clown Copter.
Aww.
Since Bowser's
Bonko, away!
An impressive airborne vehicle which can somehow drop ammunition exactly the size of itself. Probably via some kind of magic.
Oh yeah.
TARDIS
Mention
technology?
This is a magic turtle? He can breathe fire like a dragon, shapeshift into anything, and even grow a
Shapeshift?
as big as a castle. Which is
And
also
growth?
Transformer.
This sounds
He
good.
can grow his-
No, I don't want to think about it. Have you seen a turtle penis? They're horrifying.
I've seen an echidna penis. Oh no, I have seen a turtle one.
Science.
That sounds weird without context.
Anyway,
It was
his
that one
size
with the
and
loud
grace
mating
comes
cry
with
that went
tremendous
viral.
and power. Not only can he fight a castle, he can pick the whole thing up and throw it.
He's tough enough to survive lava of any temperature, even when it melts off his skin. He's withstood a
Alright then.
supernova and being sucked into a black hole.
Now that's durability.
And consider, a black hole is a complete compression of space and time which stretches anything apart.
Here we go.
Light itself.
Man, you'd think with all this awesome power, Bowser could take over the Mushroom Kingdom, like, no problem.
Except he's an idiot. He's constantly
Alright.
underestimating his opponents. He builds traps in his castles which always end up being used against him. And to top it all
That
off,
does
he's
suck.
illiterate. Still, with his incredible ferocity and brute force, it's no wonder Bowser strikes fear across the Mushroom Kingdom.
Until they all
yeah,
get together
yeah.
for go-karting or
Okay.
some tennis.
Take it from me, Boomstick. You can't always be the bad guy.
Okay.
When the alcohol wears
The
off.
kingdom of Hyrule is full of hidden terrors. Giant spiders, a dragon who eats rock people.
And that red-headed fairy with boobs that'll poke your eyes out and a laugh that can melt any erection.
Yeah, those are definite eye
The
gougers.
fiend of all is the Demon King, Ganon.
Why does he look like a pig?
However, before he became a giant blue pig demon, Ganon was
Yeah, thank
actually
you.
just a man named Ganondorf.
Ganondorf was raised in the Gerudo Desert as a student of
Mm-hmm.
magic under the tutelage of the Twin Rova Witches.
But while the Gerudo have got some pretty kick-ass music, growing up in the desert obviously wasn't the best. Because, you know, sand. I don't like
I
sand.
hate sand.
It's coarse,
Yeah,
rough,
same
irritating,
reference.
and
Broomstick,
Don't
you are on the
go
level.
there.
You are on the level.
Unfortunately for Ganondorf and our viewers, his destiny would take him beyond the sand.
See, turns out he's the reincarnation of the demon Demise, who happens to be the root of all evil. Because what else would you grow up to be with a name like that?
That is a fair point.
Upon his defeat, Demise cursed the blood of the goddess and the spirit of the hero to be forever plagued by a physical embodiment of his rage.
Wow, that's some hardcore shit.
Alright, so that's where the consistent villain role comes from.
Demons Reborn has its upsides, like being really good at magic.
Among the numerous spells he knows, he can summon phantoms to fight alongside him, freeze enemies
Like
with waves
Aragorn.
of darkness, cast deadly curses, teleport, fly, and create orbs of electric energy which can stop foes in their tracks.
But because of Bowser's strength and endurance, I'm still wondering.
Capable of wielding 2 blades at once with extreme efficiency. But being the king of all evil with awesome skills wasn't enough.
Ganondorf grew jealous of Hyrule's prosperity and, like any good reincarnation of pure evil, wanted to take it for himself, including the Triforce, a legendary relic said to grant the wish of any who may touch it.
But when it was finally within his grasp, 2 of its pieces rejected him harder than Wiz's last date. The one that stuck around, the Triforce of Power, was kind of the best. It gave him near invulnerability, incredible strength, and unlimited mystical power. Its only downside, or upside depending on how you see it, is that it turned him into a giant demon pig.
Right, thank you for explaining that part.
And a new name, Ganon.
Everything's better with bacon.
He's fast enough to dodge arrows point blank without even looking. He's strong enough to destroy stone walls and pillars with no effort. And he's tough enough to get back up after having an entire castle fall on him.
But does that compare to a black hole?
Supposedly grants him immortality, Ganon can still be slain, and is specifically vulnerable to holy weapons like the Master Sword. Though he has survived being impaled by one, and then killed his executioner with his bare hands. He's also extremely arrogant.
That is hardcore.
Estimating his smaller, weaker opponents. At least until they drive a
I
sword
appreciate a man that can break out and kill his executioner.
Honorable pig sorcerer, you can afford to be a bit cocky.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, all you puny whelps.
Alright, the combatants are set.
I'm sure they're going to do some sort of commercial.
It's time for a death battle! Boss style.
No, okay, I'll have to pause it then. What I was going to do is, if they did their but first, here's a word from our sponsor kind of thing, I was just going to talk through that and mute that. But okay, I'll pause it on Bowser with his arms crossed on his throne. So I'm leaning very heavily towards Bowser at the moment, because despite a lot of Ganon's mystical properties, I felt more wowed by Bowser. I mean, the pig form, if he reached it, could probably do a big number on him, but I don't know, when you bring black holes into it and you take things too literally, and knowing how Death Battle likes to apply exact sciences where they can, I'm just wondering, is Bowser that shade too tough that he can outlast Ganon and you'd get some vital hits in on him? I mean, Ganon also has the intelligence advantage because, as they say, Bowser's more of a straight up brute, but he's not like lost his mind level of brute. He's a bit thick, but he could still place his strikes if he wanted to, I think. So it remains to be seen of, can Ganon overpower Bowser's defenses, and does Bowser have the endurance to mount a counterattack towards Ganon? Looking at it that way, it's probably 50-50. But when it comes down to what the characters have survived, Bowser does seem tougher, so it's difficult to call, but I'm going to go with my gut and place a cheeky tiny bet on Bowser. No stakes or anything, they're just saying hypothetically. So, let's go. See how they get on. Boop. What is this? Okay, so... right. I was wondering what the purpose of the Triforce piece was. They did say he can teleport. Do they have a reason for fighting, or is he just raiding Bowser's castle? I've noticed that sometimes the aggressor is the one that loses. I'm sure there's a bigger percentage for that. We'll see. We'll see. Rapid spin! That's my boy. Yeah, it wouldn't be worth animating if it was that short. I love how much better they've gotten with these. You know, the fights themselves. Everything's so much crisper, smoother and tighter. Wow, that reminded me of Godzilla's kick. Yep, yep. Use your Wii Sports skills. This is silly. I like it. That is good use of the shell. I really do like that. He still has yet to transform, though. Nice try, but I'm sure they said that lava doesn't affect him. Just like Charizard versus Magmar. The lava didn't do crap. And I wasn't referring to Death Battle, by the way. That's not one you haven't seen. Charizard versus Magmar in the anime. I love the momentum animation on that. Ow! That's gotta hurt. Is he gonna explode from within? Yeah, that might have been a bad move, dude. Yeah, okay. Alright. I have my answer. Alright.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Bowser may have had the advantage in brute strength, but Ganon's deadlier magic and superior intellect won out in the end.
Ganon had his
Yeah, like
fair
I
share
had a
as
sneaking
well, but
suspicion.
What really counts is his ability to form a strategy and plan of attack.
Regardless of intelligence, both Bowser and Ganon were nearly invulnerable to typical means of harm.
Which
Ganon
is
could
what
only be
had
killed
me
by weapons
imbalanced.
like the Master Sword and Silver Arrows, so while Bowser could hurt him, he couldn't exactly kill him.
Right.
Meanwhile, Bowser could survive almost anything. Almost. In New Super Mario Bros. DS, after falling into some kind of super lava, it's gotta be since he survived molten dips before unscathed, he became Dry Bowser. And after a strong enough impact, not even his own magic could reassemble his body.
You can even see the light missing in his eyes. So in this case, for all intents and purposes, Bowser was dead by magic and force.
Wow.
With Ganon's unlimited pool of magic power, he not only cursed Bowser's body to decay like he did the Deku Tree, but also blasted him apart with enough force to more than surpass that fall in the castle.
Ganon had this
Alright.
war locked down.
The winner is Ganon.
Fair enough. Yeah, no problems with that.
Time on Death Battle.
I don't need to know what's next time. I know what's next time. Wow, okay. A pretty good battle to start us off. Went how I feared it would go, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I mean on Bowser's behalf, since I was kind of rooting for him because he was the one I was more familiar with. That's kind of the outcome that I saw coming in the back of my head that I didn't want to think was coming. Yeah, it's like, yeah, Bowser's tougher, but you know, magic being magic. It also doesn't help that I'm not that familiar with the lore of the Zelda games, so I totally believe all this at face value, I do. Yeah, that seemed like a very fair fight, especially with how many hits and good moves they let Bowser get in. I thought that did him a good credit. I like when they do it like this. People often say, oh, this character wouldn't do that, or this character will react differently to that. It's like, you don't understand, guys. The animation itself isn't supposed to be 100% accurate representation of how the fight would go. The result is what's been calculated. They just figure out the most entertaining way to have them kill each other. Like, you got to look at it that way. It's just, let's animate them killing each other in a really cool way. Accuracy to certain other things be damned, because we already know what the accurate result is. Yeah, it wouldn't be very fun if they just said, oh, we calculated it, this guy wins, bye. Yeah, they got to show us something. So yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing with these. Should be a good time. But until then, I shall see you guys next time.